Missing $9 billion. Some of it apparently to a hedge fund called Medulla Capital. Never even heard of them. Some of it to your firm, apparently Skybridge. Can you clear up this $9 billion mystery?
Hey yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to Urban Blockchain. This is your boy Dre La Soul, here to bring you crypto news, crypto updates, crypto wisdom. And today we're diving into Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. I wanted to take some time today to dive deep into the explosive trial of none other than Sam Bankman-Fried, or Fried, or as we like to call him, SBF. Now, I know you've been hearing a lot of buzz about this trial, and for good reason, because it's been a roller coaster ride of revelations and jaw-dropping moments. So grab a favorite beverage, kick back, and let's break it down in a way only the Urban Blockchain fam can understand. You feel me? Now, the trial kicked off with a bang. Nishad Singh, a key player at FTX and a close associate of SBF, dropped a bombshell. He confessed to stealing customer funds for illegal political contributions. Back in the day, I was telling people like, yo, Sam Bankman-Fried and his cronies were the biggest donors for the Biden campaign. But anyway, so you heard me right. Singh revealed that Alameda, and Alameda's the sister hedge fund of FTX, was funneling stolen customer funds into his account. And he was just there clicking buttons like it's no big deal. It's like they were playing Monopoly with your money. It's kind of crazy.
Sort of missing $9 billion. Some of it apparently to a hedge fund called Medulla Capital. Never even heard of them. Some of it to your firm, apparently Skybridge. Can you clear up this $9 billion mystery?
Well, I'm not sure if I can clear it up. I think the forensic expert that they hired is trying to delineate where the money went. I think the big problem is that's the essence of fraud. I mean, Skybridge and others, we didn't know Sam was perpetrating a fraud. And so when he was negotiating with us, we were negotiating with him in good faith. So I know that came out yesterday. Obviously, Skybridge, and I've said this for the last year, I would love to have the opportunity to negotiate with the bankruptcy estate to buy back the shares that we sold to Sam, or now the estate. And at some point, I guess that will happen. I know that they need to run up the meter a little more in terms of bankruptcy fees and lawyer fees and things like that before they'll let us do that. I get how the whole game works, but I can't explain that. I don't think anybody can explain that. And from the transcripts that I read, Brian, it doesn't really look like the forensic accountant had a really good understanding of it either. He was guessing at different amounts. I think he said of the $45 million that Skybridge got, $27 million of it came from customer funds. I'm like, how does he know that? It wasn't clear from the testimony. But I think the more compelling thing, which you guys are doing a great job of reporting on, is that he doesn't really have any grounds to stand on. He's got 4 of his closest friends have already admitted their guilt, pled guilty. They're testifying under oath of what happened. And so, I mean, they're not going to commit perjury in the court, which is why it's very hard to rebut what they're saying and why the defense counsel is flummoxed by the whole thing.
So day 2 was all about the lavish lifestyle at FTX. I'm talking about like insane endorsement deals, big time celebrity partnerships, and even rubbing shoulders with A-listers at the Super Bowl. So SBF was dropping a cool $700 million into a venture capital firm, K5 Global, using funds that prosecutors say were swiped from FTX customers. The audacity of this dude, man. And here's the kicker. There was a dispute over a luxury penthouse for FTX employees. So at this particular penthouse, apparently everyone or all the employees were living there, and they were just running rampant, and it was like a pigsty. But some thought it was over the top, but SBF said, nah, we're going all in, baby. We're taking it to the top. Now, day 3, forensics, accounting, and political donations. Now, this is where it gets a little juicy. So, forensic accountant stepped in to show just how $9 billion in FTX customer funds disappeared into thin air, like poof, vamoose. Now, Alameda Research, they were allegedly having a grand old time with that money. Now remember, Alameda Research ties back to SBF, saying Bankman-Fried. So investing here, buying property there, making political contributions, like it's a party. Like they was just having fun. Like you get a bottle, you get a bottle. Now it was like a magic show where your money disappears and reappears in someone else's pockets. Like it's crazy. Now the political donations, millions of dollars were allegedly flowing through a complex network of transactions. It was like a maze of deceit, perpetrating the fraud, bro. Now day 4, former FTX General Counsel Can Sun, the former FTX General Counsel, was on the stand. He claims he had no idea about the misuse of customer funds until just weeks before FTX collapsed. He said SBF asked him to find a solution, but the balance sheet he provided showed a $7 billion hole.
And Mac, jump in here if you want, but I want to ask you one more question. I'm sure McKenzie's got a question, but Anthony, I'm listening to Michael Lewis's book on the drive home from work every night. It's excellent, by the way, Going Infinite. And I will say this, what I've learned is that the place was a disaster. And I mean that literally and figuratively. Sam Bankman-Fried, and I'm sorry, a notorious slob. They were talking about food everywhere, but more importantly, it was files everywhere. Nothing was kept track of. To your point, he hired his friends. They were losing millions or tens of millions a day. And Bankman-Fried, according to Michael Lewis and some of his sources, Caroline Ellison and others, were saying Bankman-Fried's like, well, so what? Or we'll make it up later. It sounds like that some of this $9 billion, honestly, just from what I'm reading, and you can comment, could have just been pissed away, for lack of a better term.
Okay, well, I also read the book, but remember, I also went down to see them. I went down on the day where everything was uncovered, but I was down there for Crypto Bahamas and other days, and it was a functioning organization. Even Michael Lewis said that to 60 Minutes. I'm not saying that it was profitable, but I am telling you that I sat on that trading desk for 2 days and saw the activity, and they had an analysis done where they were doing 12.5% of the market share of the cryptocurrency exchanges, things that were being traded in crypto. So listen.
Apollo Global, a potential investor, took one look at it and said, nah, no thanks. SBF wanted theoretical justifications for the missing funds, but Sun knew they were just smoke and mirrors. The investment firm, Third Point, also revealed they didn't know Alameda had a get out of jail free card with FTX Risk Engine. Now, if they had known, they wouldn't have touched that investment with a 10-foot pole. And I'm sure many others wouldn't. Because, some of the smartest, some of the best got fooled as well, perpetrating the fraud. Now, as the trial unfolds, the prosecution is building a strong case against SBF. And if he's convicted, he's looking at some serious jail time, like for real. It's like a real-life drama on Netflix. This shit is kind of crazy.
That's the essence of a fraud. And I appreciate you admiring my candor, but I think it's very, very important to explain this to people. They're very, very smart people that did a ton of due diligence. My team went into that data room. They said it was one of the most pristine data rooms that they had seen from a due diligence perspective. 25 of the top venture capitalists in the world did the same thing, including many sovereign wealth funds, and they made an investment in Sam's company. So a lot of very smart people got this wrong. I'm coming on the air to explain it to you because if I can prevent one person from going through what I've gone through or Skybridge has gone through or others, I'm happy to share it with you. But here's the brutal essence of the whole thing. That's why it's a fraud, guys. They can dupe very smart people with a fraud.
Well, Scarlett, to the latest now in the FTX trial. The former director of engineering at FTX testified today as Sam Bankman-Fried weighs taking the stand himself. This weekend, his lawyers complained to the judge about Bankman-Fried's lack of access to Adderall in jail. It's an issue that has been raised continually since Bankman-Fried was ordered jailed in August. Let's discuss with Bloomberg's Mizrilina Agolfopoulou, who is overseeing our trial coverage. Where will the defense come down on this? Do his lawyers want him to testify ultimately?
I mean, that is the billion-dollar question, really. Will he or won't he take the stand? The thing about Sam Bankman-Fried right now is things aren't looking really good for him. He's had 3 people in his inner circle essentially take to the stand and say, I committed fraud and Sam directed me to do this. And so when thinking about how he's going to build his defense, taking the stand in his own fraud trial really is becoming one of the final shots he has in order to stand up for himself and really try to see an acquittal here. However, that's a really risky proposition, and in white-collar crime cases, we rarely see that, because when a defendant takes the stand in their own trial, the judge can really use those words against them when they're thinking about how long they're going to go away for and determining them sentences if they do get convicted later on. So it's really a very tricky situation that he's in. We won't know yet whether he will or won't take the stand, but the prosecution is wrapping up their case, and so within the next couple of weeks, we'll be, in a clearer sense of whether he will or won't.
Whether or not he takes the stand this time around, he's already given a lot of interviews after FTX went bankrupt and kind of went under. Will those comments that he made to different media outlets, to the public, be used against him?
I mean, they already are. If you see some of the evidence that prosecutors are presenting in court, you'll see tweets that he sent out, or screenshots of messages that he sent, or press conferences that he gave, before he got arrested, where he's saying one thing to people in public, but really the people that are taking the stand are saying, here's what was happening behind the scenes. And the truth is that what they're saying is he knowingly sort of was aware of the fact that a lot of the customer money was being funneled away from FTX and into the hedge fund Alameda and being used for all kinds of things like speculative trading, the purchase of luxury properties in the Bahamas, for political donations. And so while he was saying he did nothing wrong in public, the evidence so far that prosecutors have presented paint a very different picture. So his words are really coming sort of to bite him back.
But here's the thing, my Urban Blockchain fam, amidst all of this chaos, one thing remains clear. You need to own your own keys. With all the drama in the centralized world, it's a reminder of the power of decentralized finance and the importance of keeping your crypto safe and secure. So make sure you get a wallet, Trezor, Ledger, whatever one you want. This is not financial advice, but this trial is a wake-up call to take control of your financial destiny in cryptocurrency. And if, the previous bear market with Celsius crashing and Voyager crashing and all these other companies rumored to crash, if you didn't learn your lesson then, learn your lesson now. So the verdict on SBF, we'll have to wait and see, but one thing's for sure, the crypto world is watching closely, but the crypto world is going to continue. The building is still going to be happening. So thanks for joining on this epic journey through the SBF trial. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our videos. As you heard, tap in. Until next time.